Hi friends, how are you? Gonna get right into it. Today's message is gonna be a general reading. I just love general readings because it just, no restriction. It allows spirit to come through in whatever way spirit wants to at that particular point in time. So it is gonna be a general reading. The messages that I was getting as far as your channeled songs, we're gonna do first. Adele. Hello from the outside. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. But I didn't get this message as far as like someone in the physical sense. I got this message as far as someone in the past on sense. This could be someone that you had a connection with at some point in your life, and there was sort of like I'm hearing uncut cords that still kind of lingered within that connection. And I feel like they could be trying to communicate to you in some sort of way from the other side to try to make peace with the situation with you. I also got like speeding cars. I don't know if there was like a car accident or something revolving around that. I'm also hearing like a baby left in a car. And I don't know, I feel like that could have had like a chain effect to them, like, you know, harming themselves in some sort of way. And I feel like there's something that's unsaid, like there's some sort of tension with someone that's like passed on and they're trying to communicate to you. Yellow could have been their favorite color. They could have worn a lot of yellow. People could have described like their aura or their spirit as like yellow. Daisies is also significant. Could have been their favorite flower. You could be seeing some daisies. But something about a connection and these uncut cords between you and whoever this is. Another channel song I was also getting is Can I Call You Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom. Can I call you Rose? Their name could have been Rose. They could have really liked to garden, really been into flowers. Their name could have been Rose. It could have been Daisy. This also is not exactly like a female or like a feminine or masculine energy, but I am feeling more so feminine than masculine. But it could be either or. Yeah, so far that's it. Let's see if we can get some clarification on this energy or if it comes out some more within our reading today. What does collective need to know in here at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Knight of Pentacles looks like it wants to come out. I like for the cards to come to me though. Did get the Page of Pentacles though. And again with that yellow energy. And again with like the flowers around it. I feel like this is this person that's like trying to contact you, trying to connect with you. Because that's the beautiful thing when you start to learn about quantum physics is you read about string theory and you realize like you really get a deeper understanding of how like energy is neither created nor distorted, it's just transferred. And you also get this broader understanding that death is an illusion, that there's an infinite amount of timelines, and therefore in this infinite amount of timelines our loved ones still exist in one of those timelines. And I just feel like this person, whoever this is trying to connect with you to try to like close off some door, to try to sever that energetic cord. I feel like there's something about your relationship that could have been like tormenting you. Like I really feel like when they left, like you did not end on great terms. Like there was some sort of like resentment. I was hearing loved one that you didn't necessarily love. Like there was a lot of love loss. And I feel like they're reaching out, like they're trying to offer you something, like they're trying to. And I feel like you reading and understanding, like just like what I kind of spoke about, like how we're all interconnected, and even though they're not here in a physical body, they are here in an energetic sense. Confirmation burp. And I feel like something about knowledge could help you get a better understanding of exactly what I'm saying, because I feel like there's a part of you that understands that, like that believes that, but I feel like there's another part of you that like doesn't want to believe that because you don't want to have any uncut ties with this person. Also with this like yellow solar plexus energy, and then you know he has his foot on like the books. They could have been like kind of like a know-it-all a little bit. Could have been like difficult to have any sort of relationship with them, because it was like anytime you would talk to them or try to open up with them, it would be like either they would talk over you or they would like try to fix your problems for you. Like a lot of unsolicited advice is what I'm hearing. I'm also drawn to like how he has like these wraps around his leg, and I'm getting like something about circulation could be significant. They could have had like a circulatory disease. I'm also getting though that it felt like when you were around them, like you couldn't breathe, like their grit, like their grasp and their hold on you was like so strong that it made you feel like you couldn't breathe. This is also a person that like you could have had like panic attacks around them, or like panic attacks after you kind of left their presence, like just a lot of anxiety. I'm going to give you as much clarification as possible. And I want to be clear too that sometimes when we talk about passed on energy, this could also be like connections that you know, somebody can be DEAD to you and still be alive. That's why the concept of like grieving someone that is still here is very much real, because you still go through like the same mental process because you don't have access to them anymore. You're not necessarily like around them anymore. So this could be like passed on or still like in this physical realm, but you don't necessarily have a connection with this person any longer. Responsible, impatient attitude affects progress. They could have been impatient. They could have been irresponsible with money. I'm also hearing that whoever this is, like it's affecting your finances in some sort of way. They could have heavily like influenced your idea on finances. 5. I don't know if this is like a recent passing, a recent severing of this connection, but I feel like this is your energy. You're very stressed out, very sad, questioning why. I feel like you are still very much energetically corded with them. Like you need to do some sort of like cord cutting ceremony, like some symbolic ritual where you're like severing that energetic cord, because whoever they are or they were, it's still tormenting you. I'm hearing whatever role they had in your life, it like caused cracks in your foundation, and I'm drawn to how like his house is kind of like There's cracks in the wall. My back just started hurting really, really, really bad. On the left side, you feel like you were stabbed in the back. They could have interfered within a lot of opportunities for you. We're going to pull up out of this energy. Because at this point, I feel like you should have some sort of idea who this is, but I don't want to stay in this space. And my back hurts a lot, but that was like a sharp, like stabbing pain. Yeah, if you're grieving right now over someone or something, please let me know. This is message find who is meant to find in divine timing. Yeah, but they had a big effect on your foundation, how you view life, how you view money, how you view relationships, how you view yourself, how you view your self-worth. Forgiveness is so hard when it comes to an energy like this, right? But you forgive for yourself. You don't forgive for them. Page of Swords. I'm getting like withholding. They were very withholding. They were very negative. It was always about the darkness and never about the light. Always about the negativity, never about the positivity. Always something to complain about. Throw a rock and hide their hand sort of energy. Like I said, there's something very significant about you not feeling safe in their presence at all. Because at any moment you just knew like they were going to do something, say something to like cut you down and affect that self-esteem, affect your stability. Spirit, what does collective need to know to, I want to word this correctly. What does collective need to know to release this energy? What do they need to do? What do they need to focus on to release this energy? Two of Wands. I feel like detaching yourself from it. Not taking it so personally. Understanding that the formation of your entire world, your entire internal world is your responsibility. You are not responsible for the way that they treated you or the things that they did to you, but you are responsible for the way that you show up for yourself, for your internal world, for your internal dialogue, for the communications and the connections that you have with yourself. If you have extreme trauma, CPTSD, PTSD, I highly, 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 highly recommend hypnosis. I really wish that I could remember her name because I just found her a few days ago and I swear it's like made big shifts in like my impulsive behaviors. I believe her last name is Branchard. I'm gonna make a post and put her name in there. And she has a lot of different hypnosises that she does. And I highly recommend you do whatever one calls to you. But you know, I feel like you holding on to it and you continuing to like ruminate on it is what is causing like a lot of the suffrage that you're having, this Five of Cups energy. You're not able to see the things in your life that are going right because you're so fixated on the things that didn't go wrong, that didn't go right. And there's a lot of you blaming them for it's a lot about your foundation, about this unstable foundation that you feel like you have, and that you've been that you were, built on. I feel like your angels and your ancestors definitely want you to look inwards. I feel like this world is really correlated to like that internal world, into your mind space, and understanding that you hold the key to your own happiness, to your own peace. I'm getting world peace with that. I've said it before, I'll say it again. As long as you don't find purpose in your pain, you're forever someone's victim. And you have to decide in this life if you want to give them that much control over your happiness. Grieve it, acknowledge it. Don't run away from it, acknowledge it. Write it out, but release it. Decide when you're going to release it. Rather that's this year, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But you need to get an idea in your head. How long am I going to hold on to this? Because whatever they did is done. And it can't be taken back. And if they were given the opportunity to do it again, they would likely do it the same exact way that they did it the first time. They would not consider you. It doesn't matter how much you say that it hurt you, that it destroyed you, that it caused you to have this unstable foundation. I feel like with this sort of energy, they wouldn't even acknowledge, especially with the know-it-all sort of energy, that narcissistic sort of energy, they would not even acknowledge what you're saying. They would discredit it. I don't remember. That didn't go like that. I feel like that is why your key to your peace is focusing on your internal world, focusing on your mind and reprogramming that subconscious mind. Whatever they told you, going against the opposite of it. If they told you were dumb, you need to tell yourself how intelligent you are. If they told you that you weren't beautiful, you need to, that you were ugly, you need to tell yourself how beautiful you are. If they told you weren't enough, you need to tell yourself that you are enough, and it needs to be a daily practice. You need to say it to yourself 10 times the amount that they told you the negative things. Card is, well, it did energy there. I'm gonna take this one. 4 of Cups. I feel like there's things that like your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors are like trying to show you during this time. I feel like some of the things that you can be dealing with, or some of the things that are being brought up to give you an opportunity to heal them. They're giving you an opportunity to meet your inner child, that younger version of yourself, and to rewrite that script. I think that could also be important. Going back to those situations and talking to yourself, what did you need at that time? What would you have wanted at that time? What was important for you to hear, for you to have? Was it to be held? Was it to be affirmed? Was it to have someone listen to you? Was it to have someone literally pick you up and take you out of that situation? What did you need? I forgot what book that I read that spoke about that practice. Because again, on some timeline, like it, because time is an illusion, like, and we're existing within the present moment. There's so much power in going back and connecting with that memory, because it can have a serious like change in your physiology when you go back and you revisit and you rewrite what it is that happened. It's not forgetting it, it's not ignoring it, but in some ways it allows you some level of closure to the things that have happened to you. I'm like drawn to like the pine cone in his hand, how his finger is kind of pointing, like he's pointing at something that we can't necessarily see. And I feel like that's sort of the energy, right? Like there's something that's trying to pull your attention, that you're not necessarily wanting to notice at this time. I'm also drawn to how he's sitting like in this very grounding like position, because trees can like help cleanse and ground your energy. And I feel like this position would be very important for you to grab a blanket, go outside, and sit with your back up against a tree for a good 10 minutes to ground your energy, and also just ask the tree to kind of pull all of that heavy energy, especially with that back pain. Sit with your back up against a tree. We're in the perfect time to be outside. Get you some sunscreen, of course, a little water, and just sit. Do the hypnosis outside up against the tree. That sounds like a vibe. 10 of Cups. Because ultimately I pulled this yesterday. Ultimately, this is the energy that we're meant to be in, right? We're meant to be loved. We're meant to be desired. We're meant to have someone love us in such a gentle way that it makes us forget all the times that we weren't treated gently, that we weren't handled with care. Rainbows are renewal energy, restoration energy, transformation, divine promises. They're a signifier of peace and joy after a very hard time. You don't get a rainbow without the rain. And so I want you to focus on the fact that no matter how bleak things are and how bleak things have been, that as dark as they can get, there is an equal amount of light that you can have in this life. This is not woo-woo. This is not me trying to gas you up, because I understand on a deep level how dark it can get. But I also understand that a lot of the times, as far as, we can't help what happens to us, but we can definitely help how long we choose to stay down there. And I'm here to tell you with all of the empathy and the love that it's time for you to get up and no longer stay down there. You don't deserve to be down there anymore. And do it for you. Don't do it to spite them. And I know that's hard too, but don't do it to spite them. Do it for you. Do it because you deserve better. You are worth more. I feel like something is definitely significant about the energy of 10. Make sure you're saying your affirmations and stuff to yourself at least 10 times. And I would just start off with a small list, nothing too big, something digestible that you can dedicate to yourself every single day. We are going to do 3 oracle cards. Accept where you are in this moment. Only then can you begin to move forward. Be clear about your intentions. This makes us easier for us and the universe to help you. Doors will open unexpectedly. Be ready. And that's what's important about letting them go and relinquishing whatever this relationship is. Like I said, if they are still around and you are still within their energy, it is time to release it and let it go. It's time to close off that relationship because they're not healthy for you. They're not healthy for you, and they're not healthy for themselves. And every time you are around them, you are being put back into those memories. And this doesn't mean that you have to sever the relationship for the rest of your life, but I feel like right now it is vital for your nervous system to not be around whoever this is. And if they have passed on, like I said, Mark Wolin in his It Didn't Start With Me book speaks about like a ritual that you can do where you can, get into a deep meditative state and have like a whole conversation with them and make peace and say what you need to say. And you may need to do it multiple times in order to really feel those feelings of release. But I do feel like it is important for you to figure out how to have closure with this situation. And I do feel like if they are still here, that it is important for you to keep a proximity that is comfortable for you away from them. Don't allow negative emotions to fester. If you are feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that. Instead of fighting your feelings, go with them, work with them. Then true healing can really begin. It's very important to acknowledge your own feelings. It is very important to acknowledge how you're feeling. You can't run away from how you feel. And if you're like me and you intellectualize a lot, intellectualizing and understanding your emotions is still not feeling your emotions. One more, Spirit, please. Thank you. Self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within and spend time with yourself. Go for a walk. Go and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Meditate, listen to your favorite music. Whatever you enjoy most, do that today. I need you to love on yourself. I need you to care for yourself. I need you to treat yourself with this sort of energy. I need you to move just like he is. Look at yourself just like this person is looking at them. I feel like you're in this sort of energy where like your head is kind of down, like you're unsure, your self-esteem is kind of like at a low point. And I need you to gaze at yourself with such a level of gentleness and love and understanding and grace. Like I need you to meet yourself like you've never met yourself in your life. I need you to plan dates for yourself, to take time in the morning to really care for yourself. You know, at night after you take your shower, or set yourself up with a nice bath. Give yourself a nice bath. They also have like trauma release baths, like different mixes of like stuff that you can get from like the apothecary or like any sort of spiritual store. Or you can also look up some different things and make your own using like mugwort, dragon's blood, whatever it is. But they have little packets that you can make, and you can boil them and add them to your bath, and set up some candles and music. Like I need you to treat yourself like you are someone that you love. I need you to show up for yourself like you are someone that you love, because it's gonna soften that anger and that resentment, because you're not going to be so fixated on the things that were not given to you, because you are pouring into yourself in a way that they never did, in a way that they never could. That's what's going to help you move out of this energy. I am going to do one more oracle card, my loves, and then we are going to head out of here. I thank you for your time and your energy. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel led to do. If you would like to follow me on TikTok, it's Diary of a Hermit. Last card. Whatever you have been putting off, don't procrastinate any longer. Tackle that long overdue project. You will feel better once you begin. Start with one thing at a time. Thoughts and ideas that are not acted upon are just laying in wait. You can do this. So if you've been planning a trip for yourself, or there's been somewhere that you've been wanting to go, something that you've been wanting to get back into, art, drawing, exercising, whatever it is, teaching. I'm here teaching classes. Whatever it is that you've been thinking about, that you've been wanting to do, that gives you excitement for life, start planning. Start planning, and then taking little micro steps towards doing whatever this thing is. It's gonna feed your soul. It's gonna help you again move out of this energy. And I feel like sometimes when we help other people, it helps us to have a better understanding of ourselves. So I feel like that could be significant for you as well. But that is it for this message. I thank you again for your time and your energy, and I send you off with all the love in the world. Good night.